Una-una siguro, gusto ko munang bumati ng magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. At ako'y nagagalak na nakarating din dito despite of my experiences sa eroplano at sa pagpunta rito talagang bad weather ang kalaban. But anyway, I really tried my best to come over to take part in this event. Not just because of Brad Boyet. He's here. Not just because of him. Not because he was taken out. That's not actually the main reason. The reason why I'm here is actually for Alpha Sigma Phi. I personally do not like anything that is done within the circle of Alpha Sigma Phi that is not within the bounds of our CBL or Constitution and Bylaws. Now, I believe that the Constitution and Bylaws is the primary law of our fraternity. Therefore, anything that we do should be governed by the CBL. Going beyond it makes it not legal or illegal. Now, during the April 11, 2015 meeting, BOT meeting, there were so many lapses actually on the part of the BOT. I will call it lapses because I do not like to charge them of deliberate violation. I would say lapses to give just to give them the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, the situation can be judged by you. You would be the better judge and not me. I will present to you the whole situation, how our president, sitting president, was ousted. You know that before April 11, we just concluded actually the NLC, the National Leadership Conference, and there was already a rumor brewing during the event that the national president would be taken out. No less than one of the speakers, in the person of Brad Roger Wong, actually heard about this thing, and he said something about it. Said, I heard that there is this plan of removing the president. Now, I warn you, sabi niya, I warn you not to do it without due process of law because that is illegal. So, on my part, I was seated actually in front. I turned my head to the back where CISPARTs and some other BOT members were seated. I said, oh, illegal daw. Ginanong ko, jokingly. But actually, I did it in a joking manner, but the message was actually clear that plan was actually illegal. But anyway, when the NLC was concluded, everybody was happy. Everybody really enjoyed the NLC. Nag-picture taking pa. And then the following day, paalis na lahat. And we were expected to have a meeting, actually. But our plan with the president was to conduct the BOT meeting on the 10th of April. And that was not actually done. And on the morning of April, I went down for my breakfast. I had my bag with me because we were expected to check out already on the 12th of midday. And so I did not like to go back, and I carried my luggage. So while taking my breakfast, I observed that they were already setting up the whole thing for the meeting. And I said, oh, so seryoso talaga magmi-meeting. So I was looking for the president. So nasaan si Brad Boyet? He could not be found. And when I approached the table where the BOT members were seated, they said, you know, bro, magmi-meeting tayo. Brad Boyet is not around and you are going to chair. Uy, sabi ko, why would I chair? Nandyan yung president. Again, nagbiro din ako. Nandyan yung president, sabi ko, why would I be chairing? So wala yata. So nandyan yan. Let's wait for him. And nagdili-dali ako because I really did not like the idea. But anyway, time is really fast and I was caught by time. So I had to sit with them and I was requested to preside over the meeting. Now, I said, seryoso ito. Said, yes, we really have to decide on a lot of things. So, I sat down. I was actually seated like this in a corner. So, I could not see everybody. I could only see Nida, his parts, Brad Spar, and Joel, Sapura, DK, Joel, Jaslia. So if I have to look at them, kailangan gaganon pa ako. So Joel was the first speaker. He said, Brad, sabi niya, we are going to remove the president. Sabi ko, Brad, on what ground? Do we have a complaint, letter of complaint? Sabi niya, have we put up a charge against the president? No, sabi niya, no need because we are going to remove him. But I think I said, if we have to remove him, we have to justify. And please tell me the reasons why you are removing the president. Because I do not know for any reason why he should be removed. And so, isip sila, marami ng problema si Brad Boyet, marami ng decisions hindi na nagagawa ng memo, nagagawa ng mga papel. But I thought these things are actually not within his, although by a command responsibility, it can be charged against him. But the work really belongs to the NEDO. NEDO ang may trabaho niyan. So it cannot be charged to him as far as I'm concerned. So I kept on asking them to justify. Hindi basta-basta sabi ko ma-remove yung president. Because if we will remove him, it has to be done with the due process of law. And that is a requirement in the CBL, and in fact that is also a requirement in the Philippine Constitution, that you cannot just remove anybody or try anybody for any charge without due process of law. So that is basic. But that is the thing that they do not like to go through. So they tried to make this justification, and they have actually devised so very glaring from what they have been doing during that meeting. They have actually planned the whole thing. Scheming. So step by step pinalabas nila yung ano nila. So when I demanded for the justification, I called the attention of the secretary, Madam Secretary. I said, do we have an agenda? Agenda for the meeting. Actually, Brad, sabi alam si Sakura, Brad, wala eh. No, I said, that is a problem. How can we have a meeting without agenda? Sabi nga, we can actually suggest agenda. Sabi nga, the first agenda, sabi ni Brad Joel, is the removal of the president. So they kept on pushing for that. So on my part, being outnumbered, kasi chorus yan eh. Pag nagsalita, halos chorus sila. So sabi ko, I am not really, personally I said, I am not really convinced of the justifications that I have heard or the reasons that have been provided for the removal of the president. And says, actually, Brad, sabi niya, first justification came out from Brad Joel again. So under the corporate law, if the president loses the trust and confidence of the members of the board, he can be removed anytime. Is that so? Said it. Do we have a copy of the corporate law? Nobody has a copy of the corporate law. But that is, he guaranteed it that is what corporate law says. So, sabi ko, and I have to state that I am quite ignorant of what corporate law is all about. I'm not a lawyer, so I am really ignorant about it. So I said, can we discuss more on the corporate law? Sabi nga, Brad, ganito, ganyan. So pag wala na yung trust and confidence, I said, Brad, yung issue na yan, yung justification na yan, loss of trust and confidence, parang gas-gas na yan. I really said it, gas-gas na yan, because that was the very statement that was used against Brad Belly Batucayan. Although that was not the reason, but that was actually emphasized during the NBC 2014. Sabi ko, hindi na bago yan, sabi ko, Brad. Ginawa na natin kay Brad Belly Batucayan yan, gagawin na naman natin yun dito kay Brad Boyek. Sabi niya, Brad, wala tayong magagawa. This is for the good of the fraternity. How can you rebut a statement like that? For the good of the fraternity. So I said, what else? We will review the 10-point agenda, 12-point agenda. 12-point agenda. We will review. Sige, sabi ko. Put it on record, Madam Secretary. So we were actually coming up with the agenda by listing it. So everybody, I asked every one of them if they have an addendum to present. So naglista. But what came out is only like yung removal of the president, assessment of yung 12-point agenda, election, revamp. So parang ito lang yung lumabas. So I said, talagang seryoso kayo. Ano? So sabi ko, I asked for a 10-minute break. Let us wait for Brad Boyet. Mga 9 yun. I said, break muna tayo. Baka darating si Brad Boyet. So I called him. He's here. I called him up. Said, Brad, punta ka rito. Aalisin ka. Hey, you will be removed. Punta ka rito. Didebatehin natin sila. Magpunta ka rito. But siguro napakalayo ng pinag-i-stayhan nila. So pagdating ng 10 o'clock, talagang I was really forced. Brad, umpisa na tayo. So I was forced to sit and presided over the meeting. So I went through the order of business. I opened the meeting, nag-roll call, and then we established the quorum. There was indeed a quorum. And yung first, siyempre, approval of the previous meeting, minutes of the previous meeting. So, namin, we went over, parang i-discard pa nila. Sabi ko, we have to do that because that is in the order of business. Sige, and as we discussed these minutes of the previous meeting, pumasok na yung assessment. Out of 12, 4 were accomplished, and some are undergoing, and then parang gano'n yung labas. So this is not enough. Now what is enough? Anyway, this is a very subjective thing. What is enough to a person, one person, may not be enough to the other person. So this is another disparity. Now, Nung matapos na yun, so yun na. So, do you have any other agenda? Hindi na. Removal of the president. Binalik. Sabi ko, put it into motion. So, sabi ni Brad Joel, I move that we ouster, not remove, but ouster Brad Boyet as president. State your reason of justification. State siya. Yun nga, yung mga loss of trust and confidence niya, he anchored on the corporate law, which I was really ignorant. So, para akong nasa langit, hindi ko alam kung anong sasabihin ko. Corporate law. So, ano pa? So, yun ang justification. Now, when he finished, I said, if that is the case, sabi ko, Brad, I was the presiding chairman. It wasn't normal for a presiding chairman to make a motion that is in the parliamentary room. But in a size like ours, it's only below 15, we can go informal. And so we can participate. That is also within parliamentary law. So parang naging informal yung discussion. So I said, I would personally would put up my motion because this is what I feel. I said, I am not convinced of the reasons provided, and so I would like to make a subsidiary motion that if the president would be removed, he should be subjected to a due process of law. So ayan na. So dalawang motion na yan. And nagkaroon ng discussion muli. So I stated my reasons that due process of law is a requirement in the CBL as well as in the Constitution. And any proceedings for that matter, be it criminal, administrative, civil proceedings, there should always be due process of law. Now somebody took the floor and said, Brad, sabi niya, there is a provision in the Constitution, Philippine Constitution, that if a person is no person shall be held for a criminal offense without due process of law. Parang ganun yung provision. But he stated it in a different manner. Brad Boyet is not being tried for criminal offense, and so there is no need for due process of law. So ganun yung kanya. So sabi ko, Constitution yung Brad, criminal offense, but he's not being tried for criminal offense. So yun, isang reason yon. And then another one came into the picture. Actually, sabi naman ni Bradmon, we can actually remove the president anytime pag nawalan tayo ng loss of trust and confidence in him. He likened ASP to the Senate. Look at the Senate, he said. It's like ASP. If the Senate President loses the trust and confidence of his senators, fellow senators, he can be removed anytime. It happened to Enrile, it happened to Drilon. So I was amazed again. Wow, said, it's true. It's true. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest to you. I said, that's true. So it can be done. So yun, so we had a votation, division of the House. First, in a subsidiary motion, 4-5. So negative, hindi nanalo. So walang due process because I was asking for due process of law. And then, yun na, yung ouster without due process. Clear talaga yan, without due process by Brad Joel. 5-4. So, 4-5, 5-4. So I said, now the president is ousted. The president is ousted. Take note. I said, Next agenda. Revamp. I could actually give them a hard time, but it did not. I did not push through with my idea because I do not like to complicate matters. When he was removed, I could have presented myself as the president because that is the only listed function of the vice president to succeed the president, and when ano to, in case of incapacity, death, mga ganon, immigration, mga ganon, or removal as provided for in the CBL. So yun ang condition provided for in the CBL. And when you go to those provisions, penal provisions of the CBL, there should be due process of law. Now they are saying that there is no need for due process. Now therefore, that invalidates the whole thing. So there is no use for me to contest that idea because they are not for that. They don't buy due process. So let them continue. Revamp. Okay, how did they make it? I move, see Brad Joel then. I move for the declaration of vacancy to all positions and then hold new election. So wala nang kahit ako, kahit sino, wala na. No more vice president down line and conduct the election. Okay, election. Another innovation. Let's have a secret balloting. This is actually part of the scheme. Secret balloting, you can already vote for the people you like to any position. So from the president down to herald. Wow. So ang scheme na ito was actually to avoid the question on qualification. That was the intention. Para blinded lahat, perhaps not really them, but me, being the presiding officer. Pag na-nominate si Brad Mon, I could have questioned it. Kasi open yan. But that was a secret balloting wherein everybody would already be voted into a position. Nag-vote kami. So I came out, Brad Mon, 5, ako 4, sa Vice President 5 ako, 3 somebody, si Brad Mon yata, and Brad Adspar 1, and so on and so forth. Nagkaroon ng tie sa isang position, kay si Sakura at saka kay sino yun, somebody, si Jasilia siguro. So that was it. We had that, and then when it was already counted and everybody was already there, I adjourned the meeting. So I have to adjourn the meeting because there is already new president. So ayan, another set of meeting, nag-meeting na, and it was already presided by Brad Mon Monteros. So he issued two memoranda or circulars. I don't know. I think memorandum. So there were two memorandum issued or memorandum. And then we were sworn to office by PNP Bradrick Martinez. Pinaluhod pa kami para kaming mga pledgee. So sabi nga ni Brad sa amin matunog, bakit mo sila pinaluhod? Mas maganda raw ganun. So everything that took place in April 11, 2014 were all full of innovations. Parang bago lahat. So that's it. Isang aspect ng meeting ngayon, in the discussion of reasons or justifications, when I laid eyes on the PNPs, I suggested for them to be invited to talk. So lahat sila nagsalita. Nagsalita si Brad Ray D. Reyes, si Bradrick Martinez, si Brad Lemuel Malano. There were heated discussions. Lalo na si Brad Lemuel at saka si Brad Joel. So nagkaroon sila ng Brad Nonoy Muro was busy with something else, so he was absent. Parang gano'n. Si Brad Al Sumail also was given the floor. Another brother, si Brad Alex Paulino, was also given the floor. So yun, nagtulong-tulong sila. May pros and cons. Brad Ray D. Reyes insisted also for due process. But he also noted that yes, indeed, the president can be removed. But it has to be with due process of law. Yun lang. Even I myself, I am with the idea that any one of us is expendable actually.
Nagtikot ba kayo?
He can be removed. Yes. Si Rick Martinez.
Rick Martinez mismo.
So yun, ang elementong naalis is only the due process. But we all believe that anybody can be removed, and that is understood for a specific violation of the Constitution. Pag wala, kaya yun ang hinahanap natin. Wala naman sinababiolate. Ewan ko lang kung ano yung, So, I told them I was not convinced. Even in my exchange of views with DK Abdi, I told him, Brad, personally and honestly I said, I am not convinced of the reasons that were provided during the discussion. And so, inano ko yan sa kanila. First, because when I went home, I was so guilty that one president was removed. And during our time, it happened. It never happened in the history of ASP. That was the first time. So, I did my research. Ano itong corporate law? So, ito yung kinakausap sa corporate law. Ano yung corporate law? Ano yung mga elemento? Ayun pala, wala naman palang nakasaad doon na loss of trust and confidence. More of, pag nagkaroon ng ito, parang it should be a pure corporation na may investment dyan, may pera, that you will be entrusted with the management of the company. And so when you are not good, you will be jeopardizing the investment. So pag wala na silang trust and confidence, you can be removed. But this is purely service. We are losing money. When we travel, we pay our own travel. So where is this trust coming from? Question of trust. Wala kaming ninanakaw, wala kaming mananakaw rito. Pulos give out. Because we buy our own ticket, we buy our own food, we pay our own hotels. So, paano ba yan? And then, what you receive in the Facebook are all bad words. No word of appreciation from a lot of members. And this guy has suffered a lot. Yan ang mga question. Bakit loss of trust and confidence? And para sa akin, it should be in the pure corporate world. But ours is just... Di ba, Brad?
But nag-resign ba kayo lahat nung nangyari?
No, we did not resign. I did not resign. But all positions were declared vacant. Yeah.
During that time na nag-elect.
Yun ang...
Basta they move for the motion.
Yes, gano'n.
Magiging vacant lahat ng positions.
Yes.
Then there was an election after that. That moment mismo.
That moment is...
Diretso na yun.
So sino
Walang.
take over lang? Sino
That is another violation, Brad.
Yes,
Frankly, that is another
how
violation.
did it was nominated or
By nomination. Walang nomination. Kaya nga innovation na naman.
Parang appointment ata ang nangyari.
Hindi appointment. Secret balloting wherein you can already vote for a person in the position you want him to be. So, president, ikaw dito ka, president, ito vice president. Hanggang sa Herald na, Brad.
is there is a COMELEC?
Walang COMELEC. That is one loophole.
Another. Okay.
So that is the same as the show in the TV show Survivor.
So maraming loopholes ito.
Only the counting run, sila lang.
Yes. Secret balloting.
Parang sa ano, sa Pilipinas.
Yan.
Only that. Isip or member lang.
So ito yung ano natin. Yung sinabi ni Brad Adspar actually na hindi rin tama yon. Hindi tama yon because we all know that when a person is charged of something else, he should be tried. He should be at least informed of the violations. It is actually part of due process. Kailangan may complaint known, and then he would be informed formally, and he would be required to attend a meeting to answer the charges against him. Yes.
Mas masahol pa tayo sa criminal drug. Kahit yung criminal, may
due process.
hearing pa. Diba? Doon sa akin, walang charges, walang hearing, direktong alis.
But nag-mention sila na may BOT ngayong August 28 sa Siliman.
Yes, we know that, Brad. Naka-schedule yan.
Pag the chair of the consultative body, if we will go there, what
It's going to be messy, brother. Magiging magulo yan.
Yan. That's the
magiging
time na
magulo.
we will face the fact. Anong, kayo look at this.
Unless we can organize a group to accompany the president and to say, no, this is our position.
In the first place, baka matok. Only the selected Boyet and the Bro.
Parang
reconciliation.
reconciliation, bro.
Last but
Reconciliation.
before the invasive run,
It can be
we do
done.
that,
It can be done, Brad. Kaya lang, parang nagmamatigas. Nagmamatigas
kasi
sila.
pupunta na sila dito sa BOT.
Sa ginagawa nila, Brad, it seems to be that the BOT has more power than the president.
Yeah, assuming.
No. Yun ang
Yun
In any organization, Brad, the most powerful is
Is the
General
president.
Assembly.
Without the signature of the
Any
president.
resolution or any
Yes. Sa
from
atin,
the
Brad.
board
They are
that can be
challenging,
superseded from the General Assembly.
Yes.
nag-invite sila.
Kaya nga,
More
ito,
powerful body.
if this is a national assembly, then it can actually supersede their decision.
their decisions.
Brad,
Yes.
one thing, for the clarification, you were stating a while ago that we should have a dialogue first, I think, or
No, eto Brad,
before the national.
this is actually the position of yung sa kabila. They're now insisting that Brad Boyet should already accept etong decision na to. Ito yung ini-insist nila. And they refuse to recognize their mistakes. Kahit ano pang mistakes yun, they refuse to recognize that. Kaya nga sinasabi ngayon ni Brad Gani Espina, Brad Boyet was already given due process. But I don't know his definition of due process. And due process to us is well defined in our CBL. Now, due process requires that you have a written complaint and then inform him properly that he is being charged of these charges, and he should be present in a meeting to discuss these charges. And then failure to do so, that tantamounts now to admission of guilt or waiving of his rights. Yan ang due process. Sa atin, as defined in the Constitution.
That's correct, Brad. Sakto lang siya, Brad.
Kasi, I once attended the alumni association meeting sa Cebu last July 26. So we were four na hindi visiting doon sa Cebu. So we urged them during their meeting to even ask the administrator of their Facebook account to let those mag-comment refrain from having comments na which is not constructive to the issue.
Yes, sir.
So the second point that we raised is to have a dialogue, sinabi namin, pag-usapan ninyo. So we can salvage what can be salvaged and
Yes, yes.
to let go what can be let go.
Yes, yes.
So
Actually,
I think
Brad,
I was speaking in behalf sa iligan, pero I was not in the position to speak talaga. Pero it was my initiative na lang na I mean to bring both parties no na
as if you were suggesting.
yeah, parang ganun.
Well, the best body actually was the grievance committee. But unfortunately, the grievance committee, even before being constituted, ayaw na. Wala na. Ayaw nang tumanggap dahil complaint na yung nakikita, and I believe so, nakikita nila very influential yung sa kabila, so they cannot just make an objective decision. Kakaroon ng biases, so they rather choose not to partake in the case. So that was the best body to decide. Yun ang mag-mediate sana. Now, another strategy is to convince the PNPs to constitute a special body to do this initiative. Yun lang ang po pwede. Other than that, wala akong nakikita. Kasi pag
Parang may mag-mediate
lang. Okay, kasi without mediation yan, walang solution. Mapatigasan ito, patigasan hanggang dumating yung Palawan. Magkakaroon pa tayo ng mga altercations sa Palawan because they will be bringing their supporters, we will be bringing our supporters. So matindi. Although Palawan doesn't like this scenario. Kasi sabi pag magulo, Brad, pauwiin namin. Kung sino magulo, pauwiin namin anuhan na sa nila. Because Palawan is a land of peace, sabi nila. We don't like troubles. So, gano'n. Kaya siguro pinipilit nila before Palawan Convention, this matter should already be resolved. Yun ang
Tawa yan.
As for you, Brad Nas, with due respect, we would like to hear from you your conclusions about these things, about your own remarks and comments. What will be the process of the situation about this First National Convention Assembly that we have
Now,
just today?
to my mind, this is one initiative to bring into their attention the legal position of the sitting president, because in all legalities actually he is still the president. As far as I'm concerned, he is still the president because the manner he was removed was uncalled for and not prescribed by the Constitution. That makes it invalid as far as I'm concerned. But those other BOTs really believe and they can fight with anyone on that position that they have already ousted the president.
What about if ever we could have another BOT aside from those people
Now,
within your
hindi po pwede ang Brad. Hindi po pwede. Kailangan talaga convention.
Yes.
Ang pinaka-ano dito, Brad, pinaka-safe. There should be a participation of the COMELEC because there is also a violation, a blatant disrespect to a duly constituted body such as the COMELEC, headed by PNP Sami Matunog. And he should feel that because the Constitution so provide that all elections in the ASP should be presided over, supervised by the COMELEC.
So we have to wait for the convention to
kailangan.
follow on convention.
And Brad Sami Matunog should insist on that. And therefore, yung election na yun, on that aspect, Brad, is also invalid. maraming angles, maraming loopholes.
Atin si Sammy Matunog sa Siliwan is coming.
I think so. Being a good son of Siliman, he will be.
Yeah. Also kami sa Davao.
Yeah.
What about if we give a copy to Siliman?
Pwede, even to national headquarters. Yung ano dito, it should not be kept secret.
Yes.
It should be broadcasted actually. Brought into the
As
open.
soon as possible.
Should be
Yes.
given
Because this is a
heard
position, Brad.
through media.
Yes. This is a position of a lot of chapters and associations. And it can even be really considered as a national assembly. And that is exactly what they do not like you to have.
Okay. One more few questions, Brad. We have to go.
Okay.
It's midnight. We have to
Yes.
go tomorrow again. We have a long day tomorrow. So, siguro, we'll leave it there. Tomorrow we still have another day to have a consultation. So you can reserve those questions tomorrow. Okay? At least narinig na namin
Ilan,
po
Brad?
sinabi.
Bukas open forum natin.